Hello Cancer, welcome to the channel. My name is Ali from Indigo Ascension. For those of you who are familiar and returning subscribers, welcome back. Thanks for watching. If you're new, please do go ahead and check out the description box below, where you will find a little bit more information about the work that I do with Indigo Ascension as an intuitive energy healer and reader, where you will see links to my Facebook page and my website. Now, on the channel, you will see fortnightly and monthly readings. I do connect in on a soul level, if you like. I do soul ascension healing is what I fondly call it. Now, that primarily is about connecting into the original essence, the original blueprint, so that we can understand all other levels and layers of being. Now, you'll hear me talk about it in the videos. I work with the 5 levels, okay? So as empaths, intuitives and sensitives, we know that we are more than just the physical. We're also an emotional body, we're a thought body, we're an energy body and a soul. And perhaps our greatest awakening, our greatest ascending, which is essentially just ascending outside of old paradigms, limiting beliefs, old ways of being, perhaps our greatest awakening is being able to see and experience and engage all elements and multidimensional aspects of self, yeah? And as many are aware, you know, it's one thing to be connected into higher consciousness, higher wisdom, if you like. Sorry, Cancer, I'm going to just turn this down a little bit. Native American flute music. So, all right. It's one thing to be connected into high consciousness and higher awareness, yeah, Cancer, but it's quite another thing altogether to truly ground that down into the everyday reality that we all find ourselves in. You know, these are the spiritual classrooms of life, the challenges we experience when we're integrating our shadow self, when our awareness about our deeper beliefs start to come into play, and it's action time. Thought, prayer, meditation, theory is great and all, but it is action that counts in the eyes of the universe. It is action that is required in order to create active change. So, June. Now, you will hear me talk about cosmic placements, obviously planetary placements, because I do fundamentally believe that as above, so below. You know, we're all alchemically influenced and have the potential to really make the most of the transformative energies that the planets and certain alignments do provide us, Cancer. Now, if you haven't already, please do go ahead and check out your June Practically Soulful as well as your May readings, where I cover extensively, you know, the energy behind the retrogrades. And just as a recap, I like to work with the planetary energy as archetypes, yes, as traditional, you know, as the traditional archetypes represents for sure, but they each are an energy body in their own. They are each an energy experience that can be uniquely experienced by us depending on our natal charts, all right, depending on where we're at in our journeys. Now, how those combine. We have 5 planets in retrograde in June. Now, the 4 planetary retrogrades that were happening for most of May and into the first couple of weeks of June have been about really getting to the depths of the rules and structures we've been raised in, the boundary lines that we've been told to live by, and whether that's still right for us. We're certainly connecting into themes of intimacy, and more importantly, in the words of Teal Swan, into me see. How have we been taught how to connect? What have we been taught about love? There's a big theme this month with love versus hate, you know, or you can say conditional versus unconditional love. There's a rising energy, which we can see is evident in the collective, where there's this oppression versus freedom energy. You know, I'm no longer wanting to live by the rules I've been told to live by. I'm questioning the authority energy in my life, the structures that have kept me here. It's about smashing glass ceilings, but wholesomely and from a higher consciousness level, yeah, perhaps. Now, with 2 eclipses in the mix, Cancer, you guys, and I cover this in your monthly reading, you guys are experiencing a solar eclipse in Cancer at the end of the month, which wraps up your 2-year ecliptical cycle. Make no mistake, regardless of your story today at this point in the timeline, every Cancer I'm connecting into has had a massive 2.5 years when it was very much fundamentally about really getting to the core and eclipsing anything that gets in your way of experiencing your higher self here and now. How much has life changed? How much has your life changed? How much have you fundamentally changed from the core because you've been leading the North Node? Okay, it's about the future you. It's about focusing on you. When as an empath, you guys are powerful nurturers. Yeah, you are the mother of the zodiac, and that essentially has been the quintessential energy we've been experiencing with Cancer in the North Node. This is the gift to the zodiacs, all zodiacs, not just yourself. Yes, you're great at nurturing. Yes, you're great at mothering. Yes, you're great at intuition. How do you apply that to self? How do you apply that to your path? It's a challenge to think of yourself before others. Yeah, how have you nurtured yourself despite what you were taught, despite what you were grown in? How do you choose now to be the womb for self so that you can perhaps be an even better one for all else who cross your path? Because it can get quite depleting. Yeah, the energy I've been connecting into for a lot of the water signs, actually, Pisces is going through a deep transformation. Cancer and Scorpio seem to be going into that next level, you know. The water signs play critical roles in the collective at present. You guys embody emotional mastery at your highest potential. So certainly water signs will know what it is not and what it does not feel like to be master and in control of emotions. Yeah, that's a big part of the journey into realizing higher self core truths. Now, Cancer, before I kick off the reading, I wanted to do something a little bit different with the fortnightly readings, because obviously a lot of the soul energy, a lot of the retrograde energy has been coming through. So, and the style of reading I do is very much soul focused for that healing, for that activation and integration of high consciousness. But given a big part of the journey is about merging 5D with 3D, high consciousness with human life, I wanted to do a recap of, I wanted to do a layout rather of you and the other. Now this might be how this higher consciousness wisdom is playing out for you, how you're infusing the planetary energies, the higher consciousness, if you like, into your everyday reality. So you will know if you and your other are sort of connecting as a spiritual classroom, if you like what is this relationship gifting me? What is it teaching me? What is this challenge bringing to me? How is it connected to higher wisdom that I know? Because as is the energy of retrogrades, and especially with Pluto in the mix, the Plutonian energy, subconscious stuff rising to our awareness is not clear. We're just suddenly becoming frustrated. We're not really sure why we feel sudden fear, or we're remembering old memories and triggers, or whatever the case may be. I want this style of reading to almost be like a practical application of an aha moment, where you can see how this energy is actually manifesting and playing out, and wanting you to integrate that higher wisdom. Okay, so it's take it however it resonates, all right? And obviously take whatever side of the fence resonates for you. That might reflect more so your energy. All right, so if this is in relation to a relationship, if this is in relation to your goals, your soul path, your career, your very human goals when it comes to buying that house, whatever the case may be, this is about bridging A to B and the difference in between, and how that blends, what they're teaching each other, how to get from there. But I'll go with the flow and I'll see what intuitively comes through by all means. And with some of the zodiacs, not all, I was also called to incorporate some soul cards as well, and activation and awakening cards. So if that feels right, I will do so, and then I'll clarify more with tarot. Okay, so let's have a look. Cancer, 8 of Wands, a lot of communication, a lot of energy, a lot of passion energy. It's also Cupid's arrows, falling in love, loving life. But yes, definitely a lot of communications, whether people are communicating with you, whether you are communicating. Okay, communication is strong, more so the passion of communications, and how we're passionately standing, you know, within power when the 8 of Wands shows up. It's fast moving energy, no doubt, you know. And if this was the solo card on its own, I would say don't forget to take time to rest, reconnect, ground, because this can be quite flighty energy. Yeah, you know, the romance of falling in love, the honeymoon phase, without being a humdrummer, you know. It's beautiful energy, yes, but there's going to be a time when the world calls to you and goes, hey, don't forget to pay the bills, don't forget you've actually got to feed some children. Like, this is, it's fun energy, it's passionate energy. Wow, I'm dropping some cards here. The Lovers. So you're falling in love. falling in love with life, and you're definitely working with, look, you've got double eights. This is infinite, Cancer, all right? You've got double eights, so falling in love with life, but you're also certainly working with Venus retrograde. Now, guys, Venus retrograde wraps up its retrograde cycle. It's been in retrograde motion for the last 2 months or 8 weeks. I love how everything just ties in. There's been a lot you've experienced, communicated, walked away from, okay? The Eight of Wands, the Lover's card, the Eight of Cups. But let's take a look, okay? You've successfully been able to walk away from the heavier emotions. You know, when I was talking earlier about emotional mastery, you know, perhaps we have to truly live experiences, really get to the core, the dark, the shadows of our emotions, of our beliefs, to truly understand them. That has been the gift of the retrogrades, and they will continue for most of this year. Venus was a short one, yes, but it really helped us understand what we need to emotionally let go of, what falling in love means for us, Cancer. Okay, how free do we feel? How panicked do we feel when this rush of energy enters our life? You know, what does that mean? And I do want to say here, especially when I look at these, you know, he's looking at her and she's looking up. No one's looking down. So there's a concept there where we can choose to fall in love and feel vulnerable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with feeling vulnerable. I'm just trying to pick my words creatively. There's a concept here, Cancer, where we can choose to fall in love or rise in love. Look, they're looking up. Well, she's looking up and he's looking at her. No one's looking down, that's the point. And look at these wands. Depending on who perceives them, are they going up or are they going down? That is the question. Does love, and this is the gift of Venus retrograde, does love make us feel safe enough to fall? Do we even want to fall? Which is an old concept if I want to keep going with this theory, right? With Saturn in retrograde, we're really redefining and looking at the structures and the ways in which we've been told to live, the rules we've been told to live by, what we were grown in, what was shown to us, what was modeled to us. Have I always bought the idea that I must fall in love? And on some subconscious level, I get it because of my experiences, because of the pain I've been through and my history, whatever the case may be, because of what I know about how society communicates the concept of love and falling. Where am I bloody falling to, Cancer? That can kind of feel scary for a lot of people. But if I'm told that it's rising, that I'm rising in love, and that if I choose love, it will make me rise, ascend, doesn't that feel more freeing? So that is the paradigm. There is an old world and a new world. You can look at that collectively. You can look at that as cosmic energy, which is very much at play for the collective. And you can apply this to your personal life, Cancer, when it comes to the rise and the fall. And yes, every fall was of purpose, was a wisdom teacher, was an opportunity for you to integrate higher wisdom. But I do see here there are many Cancers that are walking away from heavier emotions that ultimately have kept them bound. The times in which you didn't get your 10 of Cups, your emotional fulfillment. It only ever seemed to get to the 8. It didn't even get to the 9, because 9 is feeling chuffed and excited and feeling, you know, I've got my wish fulfillment. Like, there's been experiences in the realms of love, Cancer, where it just was never quite, not even the 9 or the 10. And there was this infinite loop, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm clarifying with some karmic cards later on, where you've balanced karma. Double 8. Quite abundant energy. Maybe you're seeing double 8s. There's something infinite here about the wisdoms you are integrating in the realms of love, your beliefs about the safety of opening to love, And sure, there might have been many times where you didn't even probably give fully of yourself, but you kick off with this energy. This is beautiful, open, excited, passionate energy. You know, and all of this energy is coming at you too, as well. Like I said, do we know if it's coming in or heading out? We don't. You know, we can really analyze that by looking at them. There's a lot of fast moving energy coming in and out, I could say. So this is the energy experience between you and another, you and your world, how you're manifesting. How the world is communicating back to you is exactly reflective of the energy you are communicating out. And that's not just about words, it's energy emission, yeah? Thoughts create things, manifestation. You've really walked away. Like this full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, because that's what we just recently had, okay, just a couple of days ago. Where would it be? The 7th of June now. The full moon lunar eclipse was almost like a hurrah, because you know your solar eclipse, and this will probably come up more strongly in your second half of June reading, Cancer. But like I said, if you haven't already, check out your June reading. You're experiencing your solar eclipse, which wraps up a 2.5-year story and journey, but more potently still go back to last December, because the placements tie in, okay? But the last 8 weeks, the last 8 months have been significant, okay? Go back to November. But the last 8 weeks, the last 8 days have been significant in the realms of love, in the realms of partnership, in whatever divine love means for you, what unconditional love means for you. This is most certainly your connection to your higher self. This is most certainly your connection to your path, your purpose, your journey, okay? Knowing when it is that we need to make a head or heart decision, when it is that we want to make both. It is most certainly harmonic, okay? It is the number 6. We are bringing into harmony. 6 is also the number of, is a number of harmony, okay? Bringing into harmonic alignment the two parts of me, or the reflection of me in another, yeah? Let's take a look at the other side of the fence. Underneath that is the King of Pentacles. So this is about a commitment to a new way of being, a commitment within a relationship, a commitment to this newfound wisdom and actually actively processing that, but also applying it, okay? Like I keep feeling drawn to keep saying, are we falling or rising in love? Yeah? Like it was a Scorpio reading that I just recently did for the Fortnightlies, okay? For June 1 to 15. Now, the other side of this, the other potential is the devil. And it is a couple with a lot of dark. There's a devil figure, if you like, above. And I explain that in the Scorpio reading as the shadow element of our human temptation and restriction and fears and beliefs. And we can feel bogged down and committed to an old way of connecting. But yet they also got the Lover's card. They got both. So it was a beautiful contrast of potential. This is the potential. This is our highest realization when it comes to love. This is also a very strong possibility because that devil energy, that devil card, represents the very fundamental human fear that we've been told to live by, the very fundamental human temptation that we have not been taught to truly understand from a wiser level, so that we can see how it's us just needing to transmute our shadow self when we're drawn into temptation. Because look, and temptation can be anything. Name your thing. It could be an external. It can be an old way of being, old fears. Temptation is whenever life tells us to move away from love, okay? And fundamentally, love always starts with self, Cancer. The temptation always exists. See the snake in the tree? Yeah? It exists, like polarity, like light and dark will always exist. And it is every day that we make an active choice. You know, there's many ways in which we can process our shadow selves. It does not have to be at the expense of another individual's heart. It does not have to be at the expense of the beautiful divine opportunities that have been gifted to us, that we have perhaps on some level manifested and asked for. we can still process our shadow. We will know when the time is right for us to rise. We will respectfully acknowledge the times in which life has asked us to fall, to integrate something, because there's something down here that needs to be acknowledged so that we can then rise. You've walked away, you've risen, you've walked away from heavy stuff. You're accepting a lot of the past has happened on your path to get you to where you are. You are committed to that continuation of moving forward, and your beliefs, your newfound beliefs about the concepts of love. You've just got 3 8s. Okay, so 8 of coins, this is a commitment. I said this is the other side of the fence, the other person, okay? The 10 of cups and temperance. Let's see. Did I shuffle? I mustn't have shuffled, hey. Did I just pick cards? I'm gonna have to rewatch this video. Sorry, I've been smashing out videos. Where am I even at? You've got 3 8s, Cancer. We all know that means abundance. There's a lot of 8 energy. There is infinite spiritual wisdom here when it comes to, and again, I feel like I need to join these together. This feels very similar to the Scorpio energy I was experiencing. And I don't even know if I said it to Scorpio, if they're connecting into a Cancer, but now that I'm thinking, I think that happened in your June readings, all right? Now, the 8 of coins is definitely on its own a solitary commitment, okay? It's a commitment towards a career path. It's a commitment towards a financial goal. It is the I am willing to do the hard work. Does it even have to be hard? I am willing to commit. I am willing to work at emotional fulfillment, thanks to the 10 of cups. Look at that. There was an 8 of cups and now there's a 10 of cups, because we were committed to that continuation of moving forward despite not being able to. I feel like I've got to join these two, but I will read them separately as separate energies, okay? Committed to walking forward despite not receiving our full emotional fulfillment, which is what the 10 of cups represents. This is just the 8 of cups, yeah? The 10 of cups is full emotional fulfillment. It's happy family. The 2 kids, the couple, the dog in the background. There's usually a dog in some of the tarot decks. The little house, you know, under the rainbow, under the sun, under the beautiful clear sky. Now, that can mean whatever you mean, whatever you need it to mean. But I do see here that the others, and there's also spiritual healing, okay? And in this commitment to really identify what love means for you, Cancer, all right? There's been a spiritual healing here, okay? A spiritual healing, a merging of divine higher knowing, the wisdom of your pains and past and lessons, okay? There's a blending here of beautiful energies and wisdom and blending of beautiful energies of both, okay? I do want to clarify, but this side of the fence is very much committed to emotional fulfillment and harmony. Okay, so this side of the fence, the other person, this situation, what it will bring for you. If this is a situation, it will bring you a sense of wanting to commit and work hard. You will want to invest in this, okay? If it's a career path, a project, a new way of living and loving, you will want to work hard, and you will want, and it won't feel hard. It will actually feel effortless because of this strong presence, you know? But even when we're in this hard work commitment energy, it's not out of exhaustion or feeling like we have to, we want to. And by gosh, when we're in this energy, we get our just returns. Like, we get what we put in. It will be given back equally and more abundantly so. Okay? This is use and integration of a long-term ability. Okay, so if this was in relation to work, this is you going back to doing something you've always really known how to do well, how you can make a lot of money out of it. This is you connecting into a divine gift and skill and ability that you've done effortlessly and thought, goodness, I can't even get paid for it, but you will be abundantly rewarded for it. Look at him toiling. He is singularly focused on that one thing, that one connection, that one project, whatever the case may be, and wanting to perfect it, and effortlessly doing so and wearing the results of it as prideful reminders of how far this project, this career, this goal has come, okay? It is infinite in its commitment energy, and it's infinite in its reward energy, all right? But more so than that, not only are we practically receiving tangible, practical evidence of our hard work. So not only, like if I look at this, right, this card is like paying me for a job well done. This relationship is returning back to me practical evidence of its love. Okay, this is practical return. This is not the Six of Pentacles where I'm just noticing I'm needing equal reciprocity. I'm actually infinitely giving back everything that I get plus some. You know, everyone feels not just equal but abundant in the Eight of Coins. Okay, this is, if that energy exists between you and another, you get what I mean. Willing to invest. Well, I'm willing to invest too, because this means a lot to me, and everyone feels equally rewarded. Same too between you and a career goal, you and a financial project, whatever the case may be, Cancer. This is infinite in its rewards and return. Okay, no one will feel imbalanced. But more so than that, not only are we receiving practical reward and return, whether that's gestures, actions, money, what we can achieve together, what this career can bring for me, I will also get an expanded emotional fulfillment from this, okay? And how good would it be, if this applied to a job, how good would it be to genuinely say, I love my job? Yeah, that's the dream, yeah? How good would it be to be in an emotional connection where there is not just equal reciprocity, but abundance of return of energy to the other that is practical? Yeah, and also fills our heart with a sense of this is who I am, this is my rainbow, this is my Ten of Cups. It is practical, it is successful as well. What you can achieve together, what you can achieve doing this project, doing this new path, your focus moving forward, it is financially successful. And by maintaining that high vibe of the emotions, because you guys are the water body, okay? You guys have always had the potential to master your emotions. You know that you will naturally manifest and attract practical evidence of your emotional fulfillment. When your heart is full and you are glowing and you feel amazing, life just vibrates that back to you, just reverberates that back to you, yeah, Cancer? You know the potency of your emotional body, and it is important to always maintain, always integrate that awareness, right? I was saying earlier about your understanding of love and how powerful the energy of love is, and it is never about seeking outside approval or acceptance. It is always found within first, so then we can naturally experience the mirror in life and another, okay? You know the potency of how high your emotions and manifestation ability, your nurturing ability is, how much your reach can just, how much your glow can just expand into such a reach that it touches many areas of life, many other people. This is important, Cancer, because you are the womb. And I know this is the other side of the fence, but I'm just wanting to highlight, it feels connected. It's a spiritual healing here, a successful blending, a beautiful spiritual blending of the physical and the emotional. Okay, look at this. If I was to talk about the 5 bodies and level of being, we are physically connected. This physical connection feels abundant. Why is my camera doing that? This physical connection feels abundant and is fruitful and is successful, what we can achieve together as a team. This emotional connection is completely harmonic, that it fills and expands us both. That this is, you know, in both of our hearts, this is our rainbow. Spiritually, this is a successful blending of 2. Look at that. It is not just 2 different cups. They share the same waters. Guided by the divine. There's a lot of divinity here. So emotions, physical, spiritual, mind, body, soul. Okay. The bridge in between, okay? And like I said, there's 3 8s there, so no one can complain about that. 5, oh no, it's not a 5, that's a 6. I was going to say something else. 14. The Magician, the Emperor wanting to jump out. These cards are jumping, yes, but also too, I'm noticing that this Gemini energy is just wanting to flow right through me. I've got my communication and my drive in Gemini, so I'm very connected into this Gemini energy this month. To the point that I speak at the end of sentences and then have to go explain the first part. Like, blah, I just want it to come out. Okay, Cancer. Let's take a look at the energy that binds you guys. This looks beautiful. 3 8s, okay? 888. It's infinite. Go Google it. See whatever aligns to you. Whatever the number 8 means for you, okay? It's also definitely about timing, all right? 8 months ago, 8 days ago, 8 weeks ago, the last 8 weeks, what you can achieve in the next, 8 weeks as well. That wants to jump. The Page of Wands, there's news here, confirming news, okay? The Page of Wands offers communication in some regard, is a message, a message. There's the 5 of Coins and the Hermit. Now, the energy that binds you, how this energy binds you, okay? Now, I want to look at this. So the Page of Wands is a messenger. It is a message of perhaps the wisdoms or what we've been able to experience when it comes to loss. There's very much this similar frequency here as a walking away from what could not have been, okay? There's a message here about the value of loss, okay? Because what we think now, the 5 of Coins is not, now I know we haven't got it on the table here, but the 5 of Coins is the halfway point to the 10 of Coins. The 10 of Coins is the dynasty, the commitment, the marriage card, all right? But there's a message here between the two, okay? Whatever this means, there's a divine message. There's a message that this connection is trying to communicate to both parties about the wisdom, because this is the Hermit card, all right? About the wisdom of loss. And what does the wisdom of loss teach us? The wisdom of loss teaches us to be grateful for the moment, to live in the moment, to maintain that high emotional frequency. Yeah, that all of life is a spiritual lesson and a blending of the good and the bad, the wisdoms and the pain, because all of pains are really just wisdoms. And that when the good times are here, that we are committed to continuing our path regardless of what each day brings us, yeah? There's a message here about the wisdoms of loss, okay? Loss has really brought both of you on some level, okay? This new chapter in your life, so if this is not a person, this is you heading towards a goal, Cancer. There's been a message here. There's a message here about financial loss that will bring you to the center of your wisdom about next steps, okay? Or I'm more so feeling you've recently come out of that. You were solely focused on the here and now. You had this vision in your head. You were willing to commit, okay? And that has brought you an opportunity to truly experience abundance and some balancing in your life. So apply that however it resonates. But if this is energy that's connecting two individuals, there's wise knowledge here, okay, about the energy of loss and what that truly teaches us, and that all things ultimately lead us to, all doors that close ultimately lead us to open doors. There's perhaps a time, Cancer, where you thought you wouldn't want to walk through another bloody open door again. It's the last time I'm going to feel like that. But there was this integration period, okay? The Hermit is ruled by Virgo. Temperance is ruled by Sagittarius. The Lovers is ruled by Gemini, as I mentioned earlier, okay? There was, this solitary period for you, Cancer, where you perhaps did not allow yourself to open up to whatever this, next chapter, what you're experiencing right now when it comes to emotional fulfillment, if that is within a connection, okay? A spiritual healing had to happen for your emotions so that, this time alone was necessary for truly integrate the wisdoms around what love versus, love, conditional love, unconditional mean for you, what loss means for you, and what you truly had to walk away from in order to get your infinity. You thought you had an 8 and you thought you were infinite and I was almost there. Can I make it can I still do this? Can I make this connection work? Am I, you know, but you, on some level, you spiritually knew that you had to drop old ideas, old hopes, old dreams, whatever the case may be, okay? Old ways of doing things. And I think I said this in the Scorpio reading. You know, you chose to walk towards the sun. And in walking towards the sun, Cancer, something beautiful happens, you know, like that's moonlight. And in the moon, you know, it's not harsh, it's not stark. When we walk into the sun on a soul journey, we're on this ascension path, this spiritual healing path, yeah? When we are asked by our higher self, or our soul calls to us to walk towards the sun, you know, we're often found in deep agony and pain of the past, betrayal, whatever the case may be, the heaviness of the emotional weight we're still carrying. And our soul calls to us and asks us to walk towards the sun. What does that mean? You know, it would be almost ridiculous to think that we wouldn't be able to see every ebb, every flow, every crack, every crevice of our darkness, yeah? To walk into the sun is to agree that I will humbly do this work. To meet the center of my wisdom by shining a light. By walking into the sun, I'm shining a light on all the density that I've ever carried, all the density that is within me, that stops me from experiencing divine love. It's easy to take a walk under the moonlight, and I'm not saying one energy is more powerful or less than the other, but the sun is life force. There was a reignition that was required when it comes to your belief in love, your experience of love, your experience of your emotions, and that was futile and almost important to do so, Cancer, because it is from here that you are most abundant and most potent. This coming together of family, you are home and hearth. You are the womb, the glue, okay, that keeps this potent sense of emotional nurture for others, that it is spiritually healing, Cancer. And when it is stagnant, when there's energy here that you carry, and we're all on our own journey, we all travel at our own pace. It is of purpose to truly integrate the wisdoms around that so that we know what and when it is time to release, so that it no longer pollutes future potential. You know, you've successfully and peacefully, okay, this connection that binds, you've successfully moved into more calmer waters. All right? You both have been on a spiritual journey. This thing will offer you the culmination, okay? So if that's a project, this thing confirms, okay, that you will be walking into your emotional fulfillment, your abundance, your spiritual healing will be confirmed and showing you exactly that you had to walk the path for a reason. 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. The other energy, this other side, this other person will perhaps still be oscillating and juggling, all right? So when it comes to the 2 of Pentacles, there's this ongoing decision to engage in conflict or feel in conflict or having to defend myself, my beliefs, my desires against others. They will oscillate between this sense of conflict within self or around and recognition. All right, the 6 of Wands is about recognition. The 6 of Wands is a marriage card. It's a celebration. All right, so if I look at these 3 cards, I can still be in some form of juggling mode. Sure, this is the higher version of what juggling can truly be. It is a blending of the wisdom of both sides. This is me juggling, thinking I need to keep things separate. Okay, if this is you walking into a career, a new path, this is you juggling 2 parts of yourself, not knowing which part of myself I need to continually be. And there will be a continual experience there, Cancer, of you dropping old faces, old roles, old ways of being as you keep integrating wisdoms. But once that's done, you ascend into this temperance energy, okay? If this is a person, they will continually keep, there's an energy here where there's a potential to continue to keep balancing this desire for recognition, wanting to celebrate this coming home. I'm wanting to come home and be who I am, with who I want, with my stronger sense of self and aligning to my desires, or being in conflict with others in order to defend that, and certainly experiencing conflict within self. Okay? But after conflict comes this sigh of relief and being able to get home at the end of a hard day and just be recognized for who I am. Now this is a graduation energy. 5, 6 of Wands. Adds up to 11. All right? We're deciding to either keep those two energies separate, or I can actually bind them for the wisdom of both and reach some level of mastery, yeah? Because 6 and 5 is 11. There's value in conflict. There's value in recognizing the conflict that exists within and without us, and outside of us, I should say. There's a recognition of the value of seeing that soon for this individual, all right? There's also, if this is an experience for you, a career, whatever, there's going to be value in you truly recognizing how you've kept parts of yourself separate, and there's going to be a blending, okay? No more juggling. The Ace of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. This is your energy, Cancer. This is not only divine spark, but also practical commitment. There's a lot of money stuff on the table, guys. Maybe this is a business venture, a new chapter of your life, your career, definitely a partnership. 1, 2, 3, 4 8s are on the table now. Don't know what to say. You've got the Ace of Pentacles twice, okay? There's a career link here, all right? If this is a partnership, there's certainly a career link in some form. I'm clarifying your energy of the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the Lovers, and it's been clarified by the Ace of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. You will produce something very practical, very abundant. You will produce, there's an ignition in the material realms of your life, Cancer. You will certainly be feeling it on the material realms, okay? The outputs you have, how you are feeling about your life, what you're able to practically produce because you have integrated this wisdom. I could keep going, but I've just realized we're now on 40 minutes. I always do that with the first reading of the day. It goes forever. Because I just sit here, I'm like, that's right, you've got other videos to do. Okay, my lovely Cancers, I feel like I'll just finish off with one little, now this is, sorry, I keep, Denise Jarvie, and the deck is Light, the Secret Language of Light, okay, they're Ascension cards. Let's see how this all ties in for you, my dear. And the overall energy for the month, Divine Animals, 22. Check out the symbolism. Maybe you'll be noticing, okay? Look at this, it's so beautiful. This is you connecting into that Lionsgate energy, okay? All the 8s. August is significant. 8th of the 8th. The energy you're building up to, okay, is significant to the 8th of the 8th and Lionsgate, Sirius, okay? As in serious, not I'm serious. Look at this, your lion heart, divine animals, okay? It's taken courage, and this reminds me of the Strength card in the tarot. It was almost like love was something akin to what the Strength card represents in the tarot, and the Strength card in traditional tarot is a woman prying open the jaws of a lion. And I'm really drawn now to this time of loss and this message, this divine message, if you like, about a potential opportunity for you to truly open your heart to love, to reignite your belief in what it can be. Are we rising? Are we falling? We can love certainly in egotistical ways, in dark ways, or we can love unconditionally and experience love in divine light ways. Yeah, you've integrated a successful wisdom here, Cancer, about the things you have lost or perceived you thought you lost, okay? And it took a lot of bravery to perhaps take risks, open your heart and get you to where you are. But here you are. Not only will this, like I feel like this is connected to you too, so merging this conflict and a desire for recognition, how I'm conflicted about marriage, how I'm conflicted about wanting to come home to a sense of who I am. You know, there's still continued growth here. There's this juggling energy, yeah? Remember how I said the 5 and the 6 add to 11, which is a master number of, you know, the master intuitive. Look at the 22 is here now. The 22 is the master teacher. On some level, life has been a master teacher. On some level, you are able to connect into this master intuitive energy, also this master teacher energy, about what life and love have taught you and how you've got to where you are now. There's some great cards there, okay? Enjoy, Cancer, and if you haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you for your next June reading later in the month. Take care.